So machine learning, in a nutshell, it's systems that learn from and make useful predictions from historical data. So it's basically just looking at the past and trying to understand what that means for the future. The impact that's going to have to the workforce is going to be massive. We'll talk in a little bit, but we think about 80% of the workforce in the US over the next 15 to 20 years is going to be impacted by this. You may hear some other terms like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. Just want to spend a little bit of time on that as well. Artificial intelligence is a large group of computing. It's anything where you're trying to get a computer to act like a human being. Machine learning is a subset of that. It's a very specific type of artificial intelligence. And then when people talk about deep learning, it's a subset within that. So they're not quite interchangeable, but just when your employees ask you, that's how it works. Artificial intelligence is the big one. Any computer that acts like a human. Machine learning is specifically machines that make predictions from past data. Major caveat here. Machine learning is still very much in its infancy. If you think about the impact that electricity had on the workforce, it actually took about 50, 60 years for people to really understand how to use it in the workplace. That's what we're seeing right now in both the fields of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Very early stage. We know it's a massive disruption that's coming. We don't yet understand how it's fully going to impact the workforce, but can talk a little bit about where we're already seeing it. So, with making predictions, what the machine learning algorithms are able to do is to take work that's normally done by a human and automate it. So where this is powerful is personalized customer service. It can look at the habits of your customers, of an individual customer over the last 6 months, over a year, over 2 years, and understand how that customer interacts with your company. And rather than having a customer service rep or an analyst doing all that research to understand how to reach each of those customers, you have an analyst, you have a computer algorithm to do that. Improving customer loyalty and retention, you can begin to look at patterns in customers that have staying power with your organization versus the ones that leave. Looking across thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of variables. Recruiting and hiring, you can begin to look for patterns in employees that you have that have been successful in your organization and know what to look for going forward. Finance analytics, measuring brand exposure, detecting fraud, predictive maintenance, early detection of supply chain disruption. These are all tools that at Google and a lot of companies in the Bay Area, we're beginning to replace a lot of humans that are doing this work at a much higher level of accuracy. That has a huge upside and a huge downside. So there was a study that came out from Bain and Company over the summer that estimates about 80% of the US workforce is going to be adversely affected by machine learning and automation. What happens, the pattern that you all see with automation, the first thing that happens is you replace the human. The second thing is the cost of the goods and the services come down. The third thing that happens is those humans go find another industry to move into or find a higher value type of job within that company. So here's the good news and here's the bad news. We're very alarmed about the impact that this is potentially going to have about wage suppression. The idea that computers are just going to completely wipe out jobs, that isn't actually the fear. It's actually pretty unusual that an entire person's job can be removed by a machine. What happens is maybe 30% or 40% of the more mundane work that that person does can be automated. At that point, a company has two decisions. They can either take that 30-40% of work that's been automated and bank that and start laying people off. The second thing that you're beginning to see, which is a really positive trend that I'd love for y'all to think about, is you can repurpose that free time to more higher value work. One of the places that we've seen this is in the banking industry. When ATMs began to become much more popular, you no longer needed as many tellers behind the counter. What was interesting about banking is the size of the banking workforce actually rose. Because what they were doing is they realized, all of a sudden I don't need these tellers anymore, I can have them working on sales. Dan was mentioning in the discussion earlier today that for lawyers, patent attorneys that can automate a lot of their work, It's not that they need fewer attorneys, they're now able to spend more time with their clients. And so as you're finding these opportunities for machine learning to reduce the workload on your staff, definitely give some thought to what are some higher value added activities that you can have. Because what you're going to see, or already beginning to see at Google and a lot of other companies in the tech industry, is not that we need fewer people. We continue to not be able to hire as many people as we need. And even over the next 10 to 15 years, our hiring rate is not going to decline even as we automate. What we're able to do is we free up engineers from doing the more mundane work with machine learning. We can point them to more creative type work, a lot more human interaction, a lot more collaboration. So when you think about the impact of machine learning, up to 80%, the more conservative estimates only get you down to about half the US workforce. It's not that we need to put people out on the streets, it's that we can repurpose a lot of the time that they have for more higher value activities. So when you think about the future of work, it's going to be much heavier on human interaction. It's going to be much heavier on collaboration. Jobs like sales will never be damaged by machine learning. You're always going to need that human interaction. The healthcare industry will continue to grow. So as you think about your company, as you think about the potential for automation, it's really going to be a focus around those more human types of activities, creativity and collaboration that you're going to see.